In a rare display of bipartisanship, the House of Representatives overwhelmingly passed the Stop Iranian Drones Act. It happened last week in a vote of 424 to 2. The bill is aimed at countering the threat from Iran's drones, which have been used to attack American troops in the last year, along with economic and political targets. Israel and other Middle Eastern countries have been taking on these drones, also known as UAVs or unmanned aerial vehicles. As Chris Mitchell reports from Jerusalem, Israel is a world leader in fighting this menace.
This mission from March 2021 didn't make headlines or the nightly news, but it made history. 2 Israeli F-35 jet squadrons scrambled to intercept 2 Iranian drones heading for Israel.
This is a historic milestone for the Israeli Air Force that is a leader in the world and carried out the first UAV interception with an F-35 aircraft.
Historic and yet crucial for Israel's future survival. Dubbed 2 bridges, it marked the first use of the F-35s in this way.
Defending the skies of Israel is the first mission every pilot learns to carry out, and this was exactly the mission we took off for. We carried out an interception of 2 Iranian aircrafts that were aimed to infiltrate the state of Israel and to carry out hostile activities in Israeli territory.
The Shahad 197 drones have a wingspan of 22 feet and can fly more than 1,200 miles. That provides the ability to reach Israel and return to Iran. Iran has employed and increased this form of terrorism for several years by using the drones to collect intelligence, deliver munitions and supplies, while also launching attacks. According to an IDF intelligence officer, Iran is equipping and training its proxies, such as Hezbollah and Hamas, and the Houthis in Yemen, with these weapons. Seth Fransman, author of Drone Wars, says there is more.
Iran's not just exporting the drones and the blueprints. It's bringing people into Iran, training them, and then setting them back. That means you have very skilled operators who can use drones to target ships or energy facilities or whatever they want.
It utilizes hundreds of these drones to target sites around the Middle East, like the high-profile attack on the Aramco oil processing facility in Saudi Arabia.
It shows us exactly what can be done with drones, even against an advanced power like Saudi Arabia that ostensibly has Western air defenses, and the drones were able to come in quite low and I think avoid radars, and were able to carry out pinpoint attacks.
And last summer's attack against the Israeli tanker Mercer Street. During last year's war between Israel and Hamas, Iran launched a drone from Iraq that was downed over the Jordan Valley. 4 years ago, Iran launched a Shahad 141 UAV from Syria. It reportedly carried explosives intended for delivery to terror groups in Judea and Samaria. A combat helicopter intercepted it inside northern Israel. As part of the negotiations for the Iran nuclear deal, a major concern is that sanctions will be lifted and the regime could funnel more money to its proxies. That, along with the specter of a nuclear Iran, would threaten global security. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
And again, Israel leading the fight. Gordon?
Well, this has become a worldwide fight when you look at drone technology being used by various groups. So drug smugglers on our border with Mexico are using drones to deliver drugs across the border. Ukrainian forces are using commercially available drones. They're buying normal drones that are used for photography and using it to deliver explosives to Russian troops and blow them up. So here we have a state actor who is developing very sophisticated drones, and they're doing it with a very firm intent of wiping Israel off the map. And they're exporting that technology to Hezbollah, to Hamas. When you see Gaza written on the fuselage, that's the intent. They want to send these drones to Gaza so they can be launched into Israel and rain destruction over a civilian population. I applaud our government to say, let's stop this. Let's stop the export of this kind of technology. Let's realize what Iran is up to. They very much want to control the various straits. They want to control the oil supply coming out of the Middle East, and they want to wipe Israel off the map. We can't stand by and let them do it. We have to intervene, and we have to do so quickly.